All right, day number 16 feedback, 70th day of wearing the patches. Hope that you're doing great. Welcome to this video documentary with me, Adrian Nelson, and just taking you through the first 30 days working with stem cell regenerating therapy patches, which has been a wonderful journey so far. Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, it's been really, really great, and I'm quite excited because I'm on my way to the mountains today to just go and refresh out in the mountains. And you know what is amazing, and I know I've said this before, but I want to focus on this specifically in this video today because I feel it's really, really important. Okay? Now, I want to sort of debunk something from my personal experience and kind of like set the record straight. I feel that is very, very important. There seems to be this idea that if you use these patches, you're never going to have a bad day. And the reality of the story is you're still a human being, still have human experiences. So you're still going to get tired, because you're still a body. The idea is not that you're like a person on sort of like super drinks. The idea is not that you're this person that's always on, super drive all the time. You never take a break and all those sort of things. Because what I can tell you, what has been happening so far is that I'm ticking more boxes. I am more creative. I get more done. I somehow seem to just attract, sort of bigger spotlight, so to speak. I'm a content creator. On my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Facebook. It's all about TikTok a little bit, but it's all really about helping human beings be the best version of themselves, And I have been at this since July 2019, but in the last 2 weeks, it seems like there's just a positive sort of upswing that started taking place, Yesterday alone, 2 big industry names contacted me, and asked me for collaborations. One from South Africa, one from Canada. And it was just so simple, it was just so smooth. Now, I do have a longer sort of like relationship with the, with the South African, beautiful, beautiful person, public figure, who's doing amazing work. And I suppose I've been chatting a little bit, here and there with the wonderful, wonderful person that is currently residing in, or actually from Canada. But what I'm trying to say is that, I have tried to reach out to certain people before for collaborations and sort of got like a bit of a brush off. Not these two particularly, but it's like this magical thing is just happening in my life. But it's all very calm, it's very on board. I get to stay in control in my life, so it's not like, it's not like when you take this super juice of a sort that you're like, go, 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 go all the time, or that you've got some sort of handle, I suppose you could say, behind the scenes that's doing things. It is just happening, and that is because my energy is different, my vibration is different. I'm showing up differently. My mind is so different, And this is just over 2 weeks of wearing these patches. It is just your energy completely changes because remember, this is like a spring clean for your body. And it is like a reset of your body, and there is a lot of sort of like energetic blockages that a lot of us have in our body, from the trauma that we experience in this lifetime, from inherited trauma, trauma that you inherited by your family lineage, by your pathologies, by your deeper subconscious beliefs of who you are. Because remember, as a human being, you are literally a copy of 2 other people. So you look a certain way because of that, but you also act a certain way. You come with certain sort of, I always call it like almost like buying a mobile device. You come with pre-installed software, of who you are and what your life expectation can be, and your health expectations, and your emotional and mental and love and personal and romance and success and business and ambition or failure, and success and all those type of things. A lot of us are hardwired to live a certain kind of life. And that can either propel you forward in life, but more often than not, that actually holds you back in life. Because if you come from a family that has got, there's some sort of upheaval, disharmony in the younger stages of life, then that is ingrained into you, and it is like a gory gunk that is in your energy, that is sort of like placing a barrier between yourself and the beautiful potential of your life, you know. And even with early childhood trauma, if you've gone through something traumatic, and it doesn't even just has to be something that someone did to you. You know, if you've maybe felt very pressured all the time, well, that would be someone doing it to you, but pressured, you have to be number one. Maybe you were in a car accident, maybe you had an illness, something that have brought you down. Then you want to use something that is going to regenerate your stem cells, because that is what's the building blocks of your body. You know what I'm saying? And it's wonderful for me because I'm at this point where, I was saying to myself, I'm feeling tired. And that's the other thing. So, my rest is beautiful. It is amazing. I wake up, I'm focused, I'm refreshed, I'm revived. But I also realize that there's a deeper tiredness inside of me, that lifelong sort of tiredness. And I realized that I am still able to be very productive and feeling very personally fulfilled in what I do. And I must tell you quite honestly that even though I've been doing this for 4.5 years, to me it's always been a little bit of a tug of war, a personal challenge with putting out material, not being so concerned about what other people will think, but still sort of second guessing myself sometimes, doubting myself, what if this work? And I used to have a perpetual fear of success, like a really horrifying, terrifying, completely debilitating, energy draining fear, terror of success. And I remember I would work, I would do a lot of work, Facebook Lives, all those types of things, begin to do well. I go out in public, people either come up to me, to say hi because they recognize me, or, you're on the street and people's like, type of thing. And I am telling you, it was so terrifying to me. So terrifying to me. And I have worked with wonderful people to overcome this fear, and where is it coming from. But then I figured out to myself just like a week and a half ago, so this is sort of like, if I remember correctly now, because there's so much that has happened in this last just over 2 weeks, and so many of it is so wonderful and positive and so uplifting. But I realized that I was still that guy that came back to Cape Town in 2019, June 2019, tail between the legs, embarrassed, angry, sad, overwhelmed, feeling like such a failure. 5 rents in my pocket, and to put it in context, 5 rent is probably, it's like a quarter basically, like a US quarter. And that was it. And my amazing best friend has helped me to really get my channel going and to get my business going, and it was a real struggle. But, I was committed and devoted, even through the fear, which was very present all the time. And, within just over a year, I was able to move out, I was able to move into my own place. I stayed there for about a year. I did really, really amazing. I did really, really great. But again, public recognition was on the rise, and so was terror and fear and self-sabotage and, not wanting to actually leave my apartment. Like seriously, not like leaving as little as possible, having my groceries delivered. Then I went to go stay with my sister and her beautiful family for about a year, maybe just over a year, just to kind of get away from it all. And then, I did a lot of inner healing during that period. And then when I was ready to come back to Cape Town, I somehow understood that if I come back, I'm stepping into the light. I really understood that. And it was very, very scary. And again, a lot of the fear came back, and I really worked through that. And so when I came back to Cape Town this time around on September the 1st, 2023, things started to go so much better. I was so much more confident, but there was still that second guessing and the fear, and the self-sabotage because of the fear, because that is really how self-sabotage comes in, because we are afraid, so the system tries to protect itself from something. And I remember, and I specifically want to share this with you because, um, I think there's quite a struggle when people are sort of like in my position in life, that you actually come out and you call yourself a psychic and a spiritual follower and a spiritual teacher, and a spiritual guide and a esoteric life coach, that is working for the light and the highest good of all. When you are in that space, it can, one, I speak from my own experience. I speak from some people that I know that have faced this as well, that I'm helping with, who are facing it. That you kind of realizing that there's this light of scrutiny above you all the time. That you work really, really hard to gain, I suppose, your platform, and then you become very afraid that you may lose that platform, and that fear is very, very real. So for me, I have to remember this. I'm not always so good with time, but plus minus 6, 7 years ago, I think it was, if I remember correctly. I was incredibly suicidal, like highly suicidal, um, and to the point that I romanticized it, and I didn't want to be saved. And I remember this was trouble with the postal service at the time, and back then the internet wasn't like all the rage that it is right now. So it's not like you could leave someone a message and kind of schedule it to be released at a certain time. Well, I suppose you could, but it's not sort of like just publicly out there. And I've never really been all that much of a boffin with technology in any case. So probably other people were doing it and I wasn't even aware of it. But I wanted to let everybody know that it wasn't their fault and that was a personal thing and all those sort of things. And I can tell you for a fact that it's quite difficult to sort of like set up what I call a responsible or a respectful suicide, because it's like it's hard to not let people know, especially if you don't want to be stopped. But anyway, I went to go see my GP. I told him what was happening. He referred me to a psychologist or psychiatrist, whichever one it is, the one that gives you medication. And I remember it very clearly because I like to pay attention to detail, and I remember very clearly I was in the office, of the doctor, and I was there for 12 and a half minutes, speaking to him. And he explained to me that this sounds like bipolar because I had all the extremities and things. And now, also, you need to know that I grew up with an immense amount of trauma in my childhood, consistent trauma, year in and year out. Trauma, instability, just wild, And when we grow up like that, our immune system, our neurological system, our, just your whole system, your central nervous system, it is affected by it all, and it's affected quite negatively because you don't develop sort of like fully, almost like in the natural part, so to speak. And I remember this doctor said this bipolar. He put me on medication, and it was wonderful because the medication sort of helped me to sleep, but it made me incredibly dwanky, and I just sort of cold turkeyed myself off that, which I don't recommend to anyone because I hit this massive, massive, massive depression. And that made me realize how bad a lot of these medications that doctors put you on actually is, and it made me start looking in different directions. Now, of course, I'm not giving medical advice or anything like that over here. I'm just sharing my personal experience. But then when I was at my sister's place again, when it's time to come back to Cape Town, by this time I've been off the medication for a couple of years already. But in that sense, I also lost everything, like as in everything. I only literally got about half my clothes. Lost all my furniture, apartment, job, everything. Got into this really bad sort of like romantic sort of situation. And so when I was this time around coming back to Cape Town, I was feeling a lot more bold, but the tiredness started to come back, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And I said to my friend, you know what? I'm so desperate. I'm actually thinking of going back on the medication. And then we spoke about it, and I also said, but I'm very concerned about it because of all the negative effects that this medication actually had on my life. That I didn't want to do it again. And I literally said, you know what? I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to speak to Source about it, And I did. I got down on my knees. I said, Source, gotta find a way here. And then first my friend, discovered, she was introduced to the product first, and then she introduced me. And I was pretty much at a very drained part at the time of, getting on this medication. But I remember when she told me about it, something in my soul, something in my energy, something in my psyche said to me, yes, you want to do this. And so I did. And it's, I put on the patch. I started with just a regular X39 patch, like like the little knob here at the back of your neck. And within the first hour of the first day, I said to my friend, there's something here. I wore it the whole day for the 12 hours. I put it on the following morning. Again, it felt amazing. My doggy walks in the morning were different. Life was different. It's like my senses cleared up. I felt like a person who was awoken from a dark slumber, you know. And I just bought into it. I said to my friend, I just want to buy it. How do I buy this? She told me I can become a distributor. I just signed up as a distributor. And even though I signed up as a distributor, the plan was not really that I was going to try to get anybody. I just realized that this is really good for me. And as a distributor, signing up that way, I was going to pay less and I was going to get more. So that was my plan. And, I just felt I wanted to share this with everyone. So when it got to day number 2, and this is how this series actually started. When it got to day number 2, I was still a bit doubtful, even though I already placed the order, I already bought in as a distributor of this wonderful product. I said, I'm going to document this. Because if this is day number 2 and this is the way that I'm feeling, then chances are this product is going to really benefit me a lot going forward. And I mean, boy, oh fucking boy, I didn't even imagine that it will be to the degree that it is at the moment. It is just profound. It is mind-blowing. It is amazing. It's incredible. It's exciting, And I am convinced, you can't convince me otherwise, I'm convinced that this revolutionary product is about to change the entire world in amazing ways. It changes life. It changed my life. It changed my friend's life. Because I was sharing, I suppose my excitement and just the not trying to put on a show, basically, just sharing my own truth honestly. Sorry. I suppose it must have been infectious. There is something really quite profound about just sharing your truth honestly, for whoever it is that's meant to hear it. And so I had people that wanted to buy, I had people that wanted to sign up, and so I was caught a little bit by surprise, but, pleasantly so. And I would say that if you want to know more about this product, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. I've got my email address in the description. There's a link to my WhatsApp contact that you can text. I prefer WhatsApp text. You can join the Facebook group and the WhatsApp group that my friend and I started. If you want this product, we can get you anywhere in South Africa. At this point in time, we can also get it to you in Zimbabwe and maybe Namibia. We'll see. But I can also sign you up as a distributor wherever you are in the world. And you know what? Even if you are half-hearted the way that I was, saying, I'm just going to buy this product, I'm just going to sign up so that I just get the product at a lesser rate, that is perfectly fine, because I can almost guarantee you within less than a week of using this product, if you use it correctly, which is basically 12 hours on and then you go sleep and, take enough water, important, because with stem cell regeneration, you want to be hydrated. I'm pretty convinced that in less than half a week, you will sign up to become a distributor, to get more product. It's like one of those things where I don't feel that I have to, as I always used to feel with my videos, I have to kind of like beat myself up, before I start the video. I don't have to do that. I sit down, I speak about it, it's my truth. I do one take, I don't edit it, I don't nothing it. What you see is what you get. I mean, if you see like the wrinkles like on my nose, on my forehead, around my eyes, the texture of my skin, I feel better, I'm doing better, my eyes are more shiny. It is just an incredible product. So I would say that if you are serious about the quality of your life, then this is what you want to sign up for, because it is really the real deal, and it's pretty amazing. Okay, and now I'm gonna pack, and my doggy and I are off to the mountains for the weekend. And I wish you just beauty, love, and light. I wish you everything that is amazing in your life. And if you are looking for a real breakthrough, revolutionary change with a product, with a technology that is So incredible. This I could personally say I vouch for this. Okay.